That was Hashem telling me, okay, Devorah, I see
face
you're
the
open
grief.
to therapy because at 17, you went. 18, 19, you wanted to live your life. That's good. But now you're back home, but you got to deal with this stuff. I had a girl, she was struggling so much. She had my second name, Leah. I felt so connected to her. She would do exactly what I would do. She would go on the floor and kick and scream. It was stuck in her body. What did I do? I held her hand while kicking, and she would kick me a little bit. I didn't care. And she would look at me in the eyes like, when is she gonna tell me to stop? And I just waited. And then she would calm down, and I would hug her.
Whoa.
And I would hug her, and I was like, I'm hugging my little me.
Welcome back, everyone, to Day in My Jewish Life Unplugged. I just want to say how honored and humbled I am at how well these podcasts have been received. You don't understand how much the feedback means to me and how I read every single message. On that note, if you would like to be a large part of an episode by sponsoring an episode in the name of someone you love, an anniversary of somebody's passing, thank God these episodes reach many, many people and touch the hearts of so many individuals. So if you are interested, please reach out at info.dayinmyjewishlife@gmail.com. Feel free to send an email and we will get back to you shortly. Moving right along to this episode where I sit down with Devorah Kaltman, who at the tender age of 3 years old lost her father. She is the youngest child of 8. Unable to process her grief at such a young age, she speaks about her experience going through the school system while holding on to so much pain. She brings such quality, helpful tools and tips for how to notice a child that is struggling, how to approach them, what you can say. She opens up about the ways that she coped, the outlets that became her lifeline, and the brave steps she took as she grew older to finally seek help and begin healing. Through her journey, she discovered a God who had been standing beside her the entire time, and she reflects on her ability to dream, even from a place of pain, and how that propelled her forward and ultimately brought her to the places she never imagined to be possible. Devorah, you are phenomenal. I was so incredibly impressed and taken by your story. Thank you for sharing your story on this platform. I will be taking so much of what you said home with me in my toolbox. I know many, many more people will do the exact same. Hi, I'm Hannah from Day in My Jewish Life. I grew up as the youngest of 8, surrounded by larger-than-life personalities, and in all of the noise, I often held my own voice back. But being the youngest also gave me a gift, the ability to listen and to take it all in. That shaped me into the person that I have become. Eventually, I was given the privilege of opening up my own Instagram platform, a space that pushed me to share my voice. I cannot even begin to tell you the countless ways that changed me as a person. And that's why I created this podcast, Day in My Jewish Life Unplugged. Here, we amplify voices that don't always get you. You're going to hear stories that are real, unpolished, and full of beautiful meaning. And my hope is that by listening, you're going to discover something that speaks to your journey. So join me here. The voices are heard, stories are honored, and every conversation has the power to leave you changed. Hello, Devorah.
Hi, Hannah.
Welcome. Thank you. Are you kidding me? Thank you. I'm really, really excited to have this conversation with you. And what's interesting is that when I met you at first, we obviously weren't close right away, but I knew that you had a story just from like the look in your eyes, the way you carry yourself, little nuances that I noticed. Like I noticed that this girl is cool.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah. And let's start from the beginning. Like, what's your name? Where are you from? Where did you grow up?
Okay, so my name is Devorah Leah. I'm starting to lean into the Leah, actually. Grew up in Montreal, Canada. Very thankful for that. I'm very thankful I'm out of there. But I loved growing up there for many different reasons. I'm the youngest of 8. 5 brothers. We're 3 girls. And we spoke French at home. I would say that got in the way of a lot of things in my life. Not having a strong English, not having an amazing French. It's like, what language do I actually speak?
And the French comes from the government, right? Like,
My parents.
Really?
My parents are French.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Usually families in Montreal speak French because, like, the schools and they have
Yes,
to.
but they speak French just at school. This was like French at home,
got
French
it.
with family, my extended family. Till this day, I speak French with my mom.
Wow.
And Frenglish with my siblings, and it's the best thing ever. Because you really express yourself fully with the English and the French and the nice mix.
Yeah.
They're like, you think you remember, it's your imagination, or maybe someone told you of that memory. I remember it vividly. So my father got sick. He was complaining for about 2 years before he got like sick. But the doctors could not figure out what it was.
What was he complaining of?
His stomach. Later in my life, I realized what stomach problems, what it comes from. So that was very interesting to dive into his upbringing and what he went through.
Wow.
Yeah, in his life.
You really did
So,
the work throughout your life.
I
like-
mean, I'm young. I'm still figuring it out. I'm a baby. Speaking on here, I'm tiny. I don't know what I have to offer, but the little bit, I guess, the Rebbe was very clear on that. Know olive, teach olive. So I don't know if I'm teaching anything, but I'm sharing something. It's coming from my soul. Hashem is with me. I feel him, and I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I know people do need to hear the things I have to say, very specific people, and I trust Hashem that it's
He'll bring it there.
Yeah. So,
He was complaining of stomach pain.
yes. When the doctors finally understood what it was the machala. It was too late. It had spread.
Could you translate what that is for people who don't know?
Yes, I actually don't like to say the word. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give it strength and energy. So it was too late. It had spread all over his body at that point, and everything happened very quickly from there on. He got like really sick. I mean, he was in a, what do you call it? He was
A unit, like a...
No, in a, when he's like a vegetable.
Oh my God, in a coma.
He was in a coma.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
And you have memories from that time, from being
So I have
3?
Okay, so I have memories as a 3-year-old having a sick father in the house. I'll never forget his Moroccan red and gold blanket. He was on our leather couch, and he was always just laying down. He was in his bedroom, but oftentimes I remember he was in the main family room. He wanted to be around us. And I actually remember one time I went to the bathroom. I took a cup, a hand washing cup. I put some warm water, and I made sure it wasn't too hot, too cold. And I took a brush and I dipped it, and I started combing his legs and his hair and his feet.
Oh my God, I could cry.
To massage him and to be there for him. I didn't know how to be there for him. I knew he was sick. I knew something was wrong.
You clearly were not a typical 3-year-old.
I
A
think
very deeply feeling 3-year-old.
I think those circumstances don't let you be a typical 3-year-old, no worries at all. There was a lot going on from a young age, and I don't like sounding like a pity case and poor me, but I did miss out on just a regular childhood. I did miss out on that. And I never really like sat with that until I became a mother and my son became a toddler, and I was like, whoa,
Wow.
this is his childhood. This is what a childhood looks like.
Wow. Those are some early memories that you remember vividly. That's pretty crazy. And clearly those had an impact on you then and now. Like, it stands out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like here to teach you something. And I mean, just hearing you say that, like the amount of emotion that I felt on behalf of you, like just picturing that 3-year-old, like, wow, wow, wow. Because that one story comes with a lot of layers, you know, it's not a story on its own. It's what your life was like back then that you felt.
All I knew.
Yeah.
I thought that was life. You have a sick parent. Actually growing up, going to people's homes where there are 2 healthy parents, well, you know, home and well, it would trigger me in a good way. I would think like, wait, Devorah, what you come from is not regular. Like, don't settle for that kind of life. Don't settle for mediocre or for lack of, or no.
Build yourself
You have
up.
a bright future. You're not going to have that.
Whoa.
And I know Hashem, for whatever reason, Hashem has his ways and his reasons. That was my mother's story, my father's story, my story, but I don't want that to be my story growing up. I don't want that
To become your identity.
no. It's good to look at it in the eye.
Wow.
To look at your past and everything you've been through. Look at it in the eye. Spend time with it. But also dream big, and demand for all the things you want in your life.
Whew.
I feel like we are so afraid of enjoying life. I speak to someone very often, and she's always embarrassed that she's making herself big breakfasts. She's like, no, I do that for my kids. For me, it's rush.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, you
Like
could enjoy.
rush feels good. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, like who am I to make myself a nice
God.
feast?
Uh-huh.
And I see that all the time. Whether they're married or not, mother, single, you're allowed to enjoy the little things. Hashem wants that for you. Can you have that? Can you want that for yourself?
Dream big. I love that.
So since a kid, I've been dreaming big.
How, though? Like,
Okay.
could you move us a little bit
Yes.
through your story? You're 3, your father's sick. He's mostly in his room, sometimes out there with you
Yes.
guys. You're trying to nurture your parents.
Yeah, so I will say, as much as I'm saying, like, I was there for my father by combing his feet, my siblings, I mean, we all take part in that. My siblings were all caregivers at some point in some way, and it's something that we look back. It's kind of bitter to have to care for, people who are older than you while you're being a child. You don't want to be on the caring end when you're a child. You want to be receiving.
It's the
You don't
opposite
wanna-
of nature.
Exactly. You don't want to have to be worrying about things. It takes up space, and then it blocks all the things a child should be doing. And so my father passed away Erev Sukkot. And
So the year of you being 3?
3.5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself, him leaving us Erev Sukkot, has so much meaning to me personally. Just like the message, I'll touch a bit. The message of Sukkot is Hashem hugging us, and after all the Devorah that they went through, it's Hashem saying like, "Hey, I'm protecting you. You're okay.
Wow.
So
just to clarify for those who don't know, Sukkot is one of the holidays, right after all the high holidays of like intensity and judgment. And God, on Sukkot, we're told to build these huts in the back of our homes, and we eat in them, and it's symbolic to God giving us a huge hug. It's the holiday of joy, togetherness, and God's with you. Exactly what you said. It's my personal favorite for all those reasons that you just said. And wow.
Yeah, so I actually remember that Sukkot. I remember everyone giving me the eyes of like, poor her, from very far. I had a neighbor, she dropped off food and she looked at me from afar as she was leaving my house with those eyes. A lot of gifts were being dropped off, tons of toys. But I don't remember a grown-up coming and saying, my love, and hugging me and saying, you're going to be okay. There's a lot going on. It was a lot of avoidance.
Whoa.
A lot of, let's just not go there. Don't bring it up. She won't notice.
It's too painful for the adults to go there. Like, what a sad, depressing notion. Like, even the adults couldn't face it to come over to you. Let's be real. Like, they're uncomfortable in their gut. Like, imagine, it's work to be like, it's just too painful to address, even when you're removed and just looking at a 3-year-old with no father.
Yeah.
And a grieving mother, obviously. It's heavy. People avoid heavy.
And I would say even more so when there is something heavy, people have things going on in their heads. They have thoughts, they have feelings, but they're so afraid. Just let it out. Say something to yourself. I feel like we hold in and we hold on when there's something going on, but there is a space, there is safety sharing, and I think a lot of times the person could receive it and they want to. They want to hear.
Yes. So when you just lost your mother, you remember the gifts, you remember all those things, but something you think objectively you could have benefited from was just a little bit of reality, like comfort. Head on.
I would say comfort.
A hug.
Yeah.
Do you remember any siblings? I mean, your siblings were so young, and it also wasn't the language back then.
No. No, it was not at all.
Shut it down, avoid. But did you get that from anybody? Do you have any memories?
So not on that day, but of course, my siblings, my mother, in their own ways, my sisters, I would say, my sisters in such big ways. I mean, I thank them all the time. I'm so thankful to have them in my life, really. They were really there for me. They gave me a lot of comfort. My memories of having play dates and having food packed up for me for school, for lunch, it was my sisters. So I'm thankful for that. Very, very thankful.
Well.
And I don't know who was there for them. That's the truth. So I definitely had someone look after me. I had them look after me. I don't know who was looking out for them.
How old was the oldest at the time?
I believe she was 15 or 16.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's a really rough age. And then my other sister was 12 or 11.
Do you remember, like, emotionally what was going on with yourself throughout those years? Or is it?
It's not a blur.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a blur. I struggled a lot in school, tremendously. And as someone who worked in the school system for many years in different schools for different ages, I'm pretty sure I did all ages. Again, back in those days, I don't want to bash schools. I do think there's always room for improvement, 100%. And I think specifically what I'm about to share is something schools in general don't really know how to handle kids with who are grieving, maybe not consciously, but there's grief there. They lost a sibling, a parent. I felt like something was wrong with me in school because there was so much going on at home. A lot going on. I mean, you lose a parent. It doesn't end there. I think that's where it starts. That's where all the chaos and the trauma really starts.
And that's when people become used to it. Like, yeah, that was 3, 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah, they lost their father. It's been a couple years. We move on with our life.
The grief doesn't move on.
No, the grief doesn't, but even more so. Okay, so I feel like I have so much to share on this topic.
I'm like waiting with bated breath because I'm so excited for people to hear this.
So school it's complex. School was good for me because there wasn't chaos there. I felt some sort of calm and safety, and there's not some crazy thing that's going to go on in school. But at the same time, I also felt like something was wrong with me because anything that would happen the evening before, the night before, at home, I would have to go to school and be expected to focus and absorb the information and be this cookie cutter child who could take notes easily and just like take in all the information. No, I really was not able to do that. And I missed out on years. Hannah, I can't tell you, years of schooling. I missed out on basics. And when I say schooling, all subjects. Looking back, I would be in class and I would see the teacher and I would see her lips move, but I wouldn't hear anything. There was nothing was going
completely disassociated. Whoa, like out of your body. Oh my gosh.
And then I would get shamed. There was a lot of shame.
Oh my gosh. And you couldn't be in your body. Your body was a really, really scary place where way too much was going on for such a small frame.
There was so much shame.
That's crazy.
Why didn't you do your homework? Why are you failing your test? Did you even practice? Who would I go over the test with back at home? My backpack would get filled up and it would become like this gigantic mess.
Oh my gosh.
But who's going to help me? My sisters are worrying about their exams. It's not their job. And
your mother had eight children
Yeah.
on her head and going through teenagehood. The hardest part of parenthood is when your kids are in their teenage years.
Yeah.
And of course, each and every one of them was struggling in their own way. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
My gosh. It's impossible.
My mother didn't have any family also because my parents are not from Canada. We didn't have any family.
God, why?
So, I don't know. God has his ways. So back to school.
Where were the adults? I don't understand that.
Okay.
Even back then. I'm sorry. I don't know what school this is, and I'm not here to like, but what do you think was going on?
Okay.
I'm trying to like.
Obviously, they knew I lost my father. They didn't know how to deal with it. I'll tell you that straight up. They did not know how to deal with it. I don't think they had a conversation between the principals and the teachers. It wasn't a thing, and I think that it should be. For any child that the school knows they're going through something, and not just losing a parent, anything, you need to literally sit with the teacher, the principals and the teachers, talk about it. And I think that the schools are very big. The classrooms are very big. It's overwhelming. We can't cater to all. So I don't have the answers, but what I do know is that teachers really need to realize that they're not just coming to teach and leave. They are absolutely not. And I'm speaking as a Mora. I was a teacher. I taught high school girls. I did preschool. I did elementary. I literally did all ages. And I saw what my purpose and what my job was in that classroom. I need to give eye contact to every single student, whether it's 20 girls in the class, 12 girls, I don't care. You need to know what you're signing up for as a teacher.
Well,
there's high expectations. You don't just show up. You're not just getting paid and checking out, you know? So this is this is where it gets. So I'm in class. I get shamed for just not following.
Not being
I don't
regular.
know what's flying. So then I'm told I have to get extra classes, extra lessons in
Tutors.
resource room. That's what they call it. So you think you're special needs, like you have to go to a resource room, and it's like very like weird. It's kind of weird. It doesn't uplift you. You
No.
literally feel like you're the weird one. And it was safe. It was very nice going to resource, but going back to class and missing out on davening because you're going to resource. So now I don't know how to daven.
Oh
my
my
mother's not
gosh.
teaching me.
That's when it was? Research was by davening? By like time for prayer?
In elementary, yeah.
That's very interesting. Interesting.
So I would say it was the shaming and the lack of attention in like, okay, she needs more love and just like a hug or just warmth, a warm energy, and like move aside with just like all the academics. Like first allow her to feel safe and to feel like this is a place where you're loved, you know?
Because in reality, you were out of your body because you were didn't feel safe in your body. And imagine if you felt safe in your environment, like how that could lead you back to your body in a supported atmosphere.
Yeah.
Was there one teacher, one educator, one human in your life that was able in some capacity to do that for you?
I will.
Tell me yes.
Yes. Yeah. I will say that the teachers in the resource were always so loving and patient. We barely learned. It was more just like
Love, fun.
love. Yeah. So that was nice. And I will say that I'll give my thanks to Mrs. Halpern. So this was elementary. I lived right around the corner from school. I had no excuse to come late. Like absolutely no excuse. My backyard touched the gate of my school's backyard.
Oh my.
The playground. So I was coming late every single day. I was going to sleep crazy late and then waking up late, getting ready. I would lose things all the time. I didn't have those skills. Like
Executive functioning.
yes. And also because there was so much going on at home, you can't even think that you struggle in those areas. You're just like on survival. So I got to school one morning and it was like 9 o'clock instead of 8:30 or 8:25. And Mrs. Halpern, instead of shaming me,
She principal, teacher?
she was the vice principal.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of shaming me, the way I was used to from the principal or the teacher or whatever. She took me into her office and I was so scared. I was like, what now?
How old were you?
I was in 5th grade.
Little baby.
She took me into her office and she said, Devorah, do you know what a schedule is? I said, yes, I think. She said, okay, I'm going to write a schedule for you.
Aww.
She took a pen and paper and she asked me about my schedule back at home and what time, what do I need to do in order to get ready. And she wrote down a whole schedule, very clear. I actually remember what it looked like. And she gave it to me. She said, try not to lose this and keep this in your bedroom and let's see if you could follow it. Try it out. And literally from that day, it was so empowering. She gave me a tool. Now I could work with it. I didn't know that this was a thing. Time management. So.
Wow. And how long did that take her? Probably max 15 minutes? 20?
I would say less. Way less. It was like a 10, 12-minute thing.
And you remember every single detail till this day?
Yeah.
Wow. Now that's a message.
I think teachers get overwhelmed thinking, oh, this child is such a mess. There's so much she needs to learn, or there's so much to tackle. Just one simple thing. Just try one thing. Because you're not just going to give the student, it didn't give me just tools now, time management, It gave me so much more. I'm a person. She's talking to me. She believes that I could even try and I could even get better maybe.
Wow. Whew. That's amazing.
And she spoke to me not like a child. She spoke like, I shouldn't say not like a child. She spoke to me
like a person.
A human being.
Yeah, but there's a difference.
There's
talking over someone, to someone, and then there's talking at someone versus talking to someone.
Yeah.
Eye contact. That's what makes it to someone. Eye contact. Warmth. A conversation. I see you. Little things.
Yeah.
A touch on the shoulder. That's it. And then bam, you just transform that conversation. Oh, my goodness. If only this happened in 2020, 2021, 2022. It's such a silly way of thinking, but I just can't, you understand, I'm my heart. Was it like that throughout elementary school, or was your 7th, 8th grade high school different, or was it just kind of the same trajectory of Devorah is a little out for lunch and it's frustrating to deal with the student. Hopefully she'll just graduate.
Yeah, definitely felt that way throughout school. High school was a little better because then I started learning real social skills in the sense of making friends. In elementary, I just struggled at everything. Everything was hard.
Oh, no.
Everything was a problem. I couldn't figure out my identity as a kid. I didn't know,
how
do people want to be my friend? But I go to resource. I'm weird. I'm stupid. High school came. I wouldn't say the first or second year got better. I would say 3rd and 4th. The 3 last years, I would say, got really good for me. I made friends.
Scene. Oh, yeah.
So this is important. There were teachers who understood what they were dealing with with me in high school. I do think that they were just too busy. So they didn't shame me. They were a lot more kind and patient. But I think schools hire just teachers, just moras and teachers. And I think that maybe a teacher could have extra time in school or another person, and not someone who's running achos hatmimim, like these extracurricular programs,
But like social, emotional.
just social, emotional, a safe person. Complain to me about the principal. It's okay. It's safe. Say whatever you want. No filter. But no, we have to be on the same page with the principal. You're not fighting with the principal. That staff is not contradicting the principal, but they're offering a safe place for the student. Like, just tell me what's going on.
I see you. I hear you. What's
Yes. And I feel like it's so overlooked. It's not even a conversation, but it would go such a long way. Such a long way. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to expect the principals and vice principals and all these upper roles. I don't expect them to change. I think that they're very stuck in their ways. That this is the way we run a school. We have to be very rigid and no exceptions.
Not all principals are like that, I have to say.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that.
It exists a lot. Don't get me wrong. I do also know and feel that in these later years of education, especially in our circles,
I'm so happy to hear that.
They have adapted, you know? Like, I mean, trust me, I've seen exactly what you're talking about time and time again. I've also seen schools uproot themselves and start again. Like, particularly where I'm from, in Chicago, you know? Like, they took initiative to take a new approach. And it shows.
It's amazing.
Really, kol hakavod, like, beautiful, beautiful job to them. And may we continue. And through hearing stories like this and through hearing just what a person in pain, a child in pain could have benefited from, like, time and time again, it's the same thing. Just notice me, look at me in the eye, touch me on this shoulder, sit down, make a little schedule for me, like, just see me, because you're not going to change my life, you're not going to change my background, you're not going to change my life circumstance, but I am going to remember and hold on to these little things that you've done for me.
Yeah.
And it might just change the trajectory of my life, for real. Really. Those little touches, those little icons, like, just take me on in some way. And if there isn't someone with that role or with that personality, like, maybe hire one person. That's the messaging that's screaming at me from your story and from what you've said. So huge.
I do want to add to my vice principal at the time, who helped me with the schedule. Today, I am a punctual person.
I know.
I am very good with time management, and even more so, that empowered me to believe if I could get better at this, then me losing my things all the time, I could get better at that too. And I'll give it a try, and I'll think of different ways on how to. It also taught me to be gentle with myself. There was someone showing me, like, you struggle with it, it's okay. Hold my hand, we'll figure it out. So then she showed me how to be gentle with myself, and then I could be gentle with me messing up on this and on that.
We're talking about 10 minutes of her time.
Yeah.
I want to, like, scream this story from the rooftops. That's amazing. I wish I could insert, like, 20 more of those stories in your early childhood. And maybe this will propel a teacher to take 10 minutes of her time and do that with one student after hearing this. So big, so huge. And I remember in my childhood, I'm also the youngest of 8, and, you know, with my own story, etc., I remember those teachers. I remember those conversations. I remember those moments of eye contact. Of course, I remember the opposite as well. But what stands out to me is those people who were there for me, like a compliment that was given to me. Like, I'll never forget it. And it, like, taught me that I'm a compassionate person. And I wear that till this day. I told my son this story. Really, like, I like tear up thinking about it because it built me. A one-liner that she just, like, said because she saw something and noticed something nice that I did and said it. I want to, like, say the story because, like, it's so meaningful to me. We were in the front office, and I grew up in Chicago. It was very cold. And I resonate with your story a lot. I'm not going to get into my story, but I resonate the disassociation, just like, woohoo, not present. And this is in my elementary years, and a conversation was happening between the principal and a student, and the principal was saying, you can't go out, I can't let you walk to where you want to walk to, it was after school, without a coat. You need a coat. You have to go on the bus unless you have a coat. And I was going somewhere with my mother. My mother was waiting outside for me, and I just like threw my jacket off. I knew I was going to the car. I threw my jacket off, and I gave it to this girl, and I left.
Wow.
And the next day, we had like a kind of like a circle time, but the whole school. And the principal was like, I saw something in the office that really blew my mind. And a girl with such beautiful midos, beautiful character. Midos, is that how you translate that?
Yeah.
And she was willing to take the clothes. This is a person who's willing to take the clothes off her back for someone else.
Wow.
And also, like, I was going through a hard time. I would get in fights with people, like I was also struggling with that part of me. And I'm like, wow. Well, she eventually, she I don't even know if she said who it was, but I knew it was me. And like what that told me in my brain and in my body, I'm like, I'm compassionate. Like, I noticed that she was cold. It like spelled the story. I didn't think of the story. I didn't think anything of the story. I'm just like, she wants to walk. She knew, whatever. I'm going to the car. Here's my coat. But like, she empowered me. It was one line. It took 2 minutes of her time, and I will never, ever, ever forget what that did for me. And I'll say her name, Mrs. Pearlstein from Chicago, my elementary principal. Sweetheart and a beautiful, beautiful woman.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
It has to be said.
Just getting back to the rigidness, could you just picture this for a moment? High school, okay? You're in high school, and there's a lot of higher ups and teachers and just a lot of staff, and there's a lot of stress and tension. But we're told to be feminine, and we're bas melechs, we're daughters of the king, and we have to be tznius and modest. But I see a lot of male energy, a lot of rigidness, and you need to take the tests and write the notes, and did everyone listen, and are you following?
Lack of flow.
Just, could you imagine if we were in a space where we just are? We're not afraid or nervous. She might see I might get caught. She's shaming me again. Could we just be? Could we also see our moras and view them as, wow, she's so in touch with herself. I want to be like her when I get older. I want to get close to her. I want to ask her for advice. I think there is a lack of that. And
Agreed.
This is my personal opinion, because maybe my classmate sitting right by my side doesn't feel that way. So I do want to be careful. But personally, for me, as someone who's very creative, as someone who is not cookie cutter at all,
Yeah.
I can't have cookie cutter moras and teachers that...
As every single teacher.
Yes.
Yeah.
The rules, the rigidness.
It's a lot, especially for creative brains. It's like extra a lot.
Don't we all just need love and empathy and just like to just be? There was always fear. Always fear.
Well, we need more women like coming into themselves, pushing for that.
And giving that over to us.
Yeah, well, that will naturally happen when you're coming into yourself. These women who are your teachers, like, let's be real, they probably, either they wanted to fit a certain role as a teacher means XYZ, or...
They have a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Maybe they also don't know how to be present in their own bodies. Like, we're learning.
So that should
these
be a conversation.
Yeah.
Between themselves. They need to have, like, actual workshops for Moras. How to present themselves, not as a Mora, as a human who's in touch with their bodies, in tune with themselves.
I agree 1,000%. I think that's more impactful than anything.
Then everything flows.
Yeah. Well, when in your childhood, adulthood, did you stop just like going through the motion? And when was a moment that you realized, like, okay, I went through way too much in my life, and, you know, I went through this grief. I went through struggling through my entire childhood, because how could I not? Like, let's address this.
Okay.
Because you clearly have.
Yeah. So we graduate early in Montreal, and...
17.
And I did my first year of seminary in Montreal, which is right next to my school. So it wasn't that different. But what was different was that, okay, now I'm not in this school system. I'm still in a system, but I'm not in the school system, the building, the teachers that
It was still a new start.
Yeah. It was different, I would say. And that change gave me the space to be able to really sit with myself and be like, okay, whoa, Devorah, you're about to start your life. Like, next year, you're starting your life. There's a lot going on. I really want to start off, like, I want to have a good life. I feel like as a kid, I always would say that. I would dream, and I would write it, and I would write songs about it. I would write movie scripts about this incredible life, this girl who has an amazing life. And she has struggles, but she handles them, and these are like real storylines that I wrote and things that I dreamed of. And I think it's the theme of my life in general. I came from brokenness, but it doesn't have to be this way forever. And Hashem wants me to have an amazing life. And Hashem wants all of us to have an amazing life. But we need to accept that for ourselves. We need to allow ourselves to have that.
Well, so how did you go about that dream? Like, you were a little bit still in that brokenness.
Oh, yeah.
Still lived at home.
Yeah. So I skipped seminary one day, and I decided I didn't know how to drive. Everything is pretty much walking distance in Montreal. So it was a cool day, and I skipped seminary that day, and I just I walked to the Jewish library, and upstairs of the Jewish library, they have a JCC. I think it's called JCC. Jewish Family...
JFC.
JFC. JFS?
Jewish Family Services, JFS.
So I walked in, and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I had a goal, and I was hoping for something very specific to work out for me, but I didn't really know if this was the way. So I get into the elevator, and I asked the woman at the front desk, I say, hey, I would like to do therapy. I don't have the money for it.
No way.
Can you help me out? And very quickly, she connected me with a therapist, a female therapist, and that was my first time doing proper therapy.
What a motivated 18-year-old girl. On your own, no parental support. You just walked into that office.
My mother wasn't against it. I just didn't tell her. I did therapy as a kid, but do you know what that therapy looked like?
What?
Here's a new toy, and now we're gonna listen to your mother.
Oh, joy.
So I would just
Wait,
play with
what?
toys
You
on the
came
floor.
with your...
It was like family therapy. I don't know.
It wasn't for you. You were just there,
Basically.
ultimately. Wow. So she connected you with your first, let's be real, your first therapist.
Yeah. So that was an experience of its own. I don't want to get into that, but she made me realize that I'm not crazy and that there's nothing wrong with me.
Which I'm sure you didn't believe
That
for the
I'm
longest
okay
time.
with who I am. I'm okay. I'm not a bad person. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm lacking tools, maybe. I am reacting because of my circumstances in my life. I'm reacting in certain ways I'm reacting in ways that I saw. I would see reactions growing up, and I thought this was the way you react to people or to situations. I was lacking major tools on how to handle life and process big things. But she made me realize that I'm okay. I'll learn the tools. That's fine. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. So that was a very big message. Like, oh, okay. Because I've been told all my life that, like, I'm horrible, I'm bad, whatever it may be. There were a lot of voices from others, which then became my inner voices. That made me think of myself a certain way. And I would say that therapist really helped me get out of that.
Wow. It's hard to unhear
I
that.
have to like shed those.
Wow. Well, they become like you wear them.
Yeah.
Shed them. Like you literally wear them. And you had been walking throughout your life wearing them. So you thought you were.
Thankfully, thank God, Hashem gave me talents and a lot of outlets. A lot. And for those who think they have no outlets or no talents, you just need to spend a lot of alone time. Just
What did you
spend
do?
time alone. So I'm just going to take a minute with the spend alone time. I was lucky enough to find myself very often, because I was the youngest, I guess. I didn't have little siblings in my way. I would find myself just alone with my thoughts. But that could easily turn into a toxic thing, like she's alone too much, she's in her head. For me, it was I'm dreaming. I was dreaming of things that I would do someday, things that I want to do. I'm a huge explorer. I love doing new things, love trying new things. I'm not afraid. Like, I really want that in my life. And I think that just like sitting alone with myself, first of all, taught me tremendous things. How fun I am. Just me. Just I am
I'm a
fun.
vibe.
I don't need to be with friends to be fun, to see
Whoa.
myself in that light.
At that age, who really has that?
Right. And then you hear your thoughts, you're able to process things, and you're able to dream. I really want, like, all the girls to dream and to not think that it's just a dream. Like, really, it could really, really happen in your life. These dreams could be a reality. And I'm living it. I really am living it. So I know this is true.
Wow.
So my outlets, I'm just a creative person. I come from a very creative family.
Musical
my mother
as
was
well.
very big on like giving that to us. She would buy us instruments and the paints and all the mediums, and she's an artist herself, so she would teach us. And it was it was a very current thing in our home all the time. So I'm thankful to the choirs and the plays, the productions. I'm sure a lot of girls hate it, but you know what? For the creatives, it's such an amazing
life.
outlet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I loved it, and it taught me not just to get over my stage fear. It taught me, like, Devorah, you might not be good at math, but look, you're awesome. You're talented in so many other areas, and that built me. That built me a lot.
Outlets are so good. So
It's
good.
the medicine.
Even for the thriving scholastic, if school is your thing.
For anyone. I think
Outlets.
It's human, like the human
Sports.
needs it. Yeah. So that was my medicine in many ways. Like it wasn't a runaway. That's what kept me alive.
You were utilizing your soul.
Yeah.
Expressing yourself. You were finally coming out.
Yeah.
Along with a therapist.
But at the time, I can't say that that was clear for me. Only now I'm like, it really boosted my confidence. At the time, I was like, I don't know what this is. It's just causing me so much stress. But it was good stress.
The outlets were causing you stress?
To perform.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It takes a lot. It's nerve-wracking. Wow. And can I ask you, at age 18, 19, where was your grief holding? Grief, like, it doesn't ever go away. It could, it expresses in other ways, but I'm wondering how...
I didn't want to grieve at 18, 19. I wanted to live. So I was actually living in Crown Heights at 18. And that was an amazing experience for me. Yeah. I was working, but I was also in school for a bit. I was making new friends. I had to pay rent. So it was stress, but in such a good way. And I didn't want to do therapy. I didn't want to deal with it. It was too draining to even go there. I was like, I'm just living my life.
Way too much to unpack.
Exactly. And I just wanted to live. And then I went to California, and that was also amazing. And
like for a year?
I was too distracted to think of, for a whole year. I was too distracted having fun, and it was good. It was a good distraction. I didn't want to go there. Then I moved back home.
Oh.
And I thought I was for sure never going to move back home. I'm on my own. I'm independent. That's it until I get married. But Hashem knew what I needed. And I moved back home for 2 years. That was crazy, like a crazy journey on its own, because when I moved back, I was like, what am I going to do? I don't have a degree. I'm not going to college. So I was doing personal shopping, and that was really fun. And I was really expressing myself in the fashion field. And then I was also being a Mora. I was teaching in Beis Rivka in my school. But where was I teaching and for who? Hashem, it's almost as if I like zoom out and I see Hashem like taking me and like, those games? Placing me.
Yeah.
Where did he place me? He placed me in my 3-year-old classroom.
Oh, my God. Was it the same classroom?
Same classroom.
Wow. Whoa. Did you choose that?
I didn't choose that, no. They needed a teacher. I said, okay. I needed a job. And I loved being a Mora. And that was Hashem telling me, okay, Devorah,
Time
I
to
see
face
you're
the
open
grief.
to therapy because at 17 you went. So I see you're open to it. 18, 19, you wanted to live your life. That's good. But now you're back home. I do want you to get married at a certain point, but you got to deal with this stuff.
Ooh.
And it was so clear to me. I mean, everything came crashing, like my living back at home and my friends, and there was a lot to figure out. You think, when you move, you think like that's it. That's in the past, but then you move back and you're like, wait, I
Nothing
have
changed.
things I need to deal with. Like actual things I need to deal with. So just being a Mora in that classroom in itself was healing. But I also got myself a life coach, actually. I didn't get myself a therapist, a life coach, and that was amazing, like life-changing.
Wow.
She was incredible. She is incredible. I don't have her now, but she's alive and well. She was able to give me tools on how to really get into my body and breath work. And this was when I was 19, so it wasn't like out there. And I didn't really know what she was doing.
Whoa, that's
But I was
early
like, this
on.
is really helping me. This is like trippy. Like I was going back to myself as a 3-year-old while teaching 3-year-olds and seeing how they process. And
What a full circle.
whoa.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What clarity. Did you have it then? Did you realize what was
Yes.
going on?
Yes, I actually told my coworker, I
Wow.
said, Hashem put me in this classroom. I still have work here. And I was like a kid in that classroom, and the kids loved it. There was absolutely no rigidness, and yet there was no chaos. It wasn't balagan. It wasn't a whole mess freestyle. It was like that nice balance of she's so fun and safe and loving and warm, but she's also teaching us, and the classroom is clean and organized. So it was a really beautiful experience for me to see, like, as a grown-up, you're doing it right, and as a kid, back to your 3-year-old self, you're back here with them having fun.
Whoa.
It was so fun.
Lucky kids.
Yeah.
Special. 3 is so forming. Such a forming year.
Wow. That really, it made me realize so many things. I had a girl, she was struggling so much. She had my second name, Leah. I felt so connected to her. She would do exactly what I would do. She would go on the floor and kick and scream. It was stuck in her body. She probably felt safe in school. And so she was letting it out in school. And what did I do? I held her hand while kicking, and she would kick me a little bit. I didn't care. And she would look at me in the eyes like, when is she going to tell me to stop? And I just waited. And then she would calm down, and I would hug her.
Whoa.
And I would hug her, and I was like, I'm hugging my little me. Like, it was all...
Oh my gosh. Hashem gifted her. Really, really
Hashem
gifted her
gifted
with
me.
you. Yeah, and vice versa. Two-way teacher.
Yeah, children really, they teach us so much. My kids, the triggers. But I take those triggers and I'm like, they're teaching me something.
What are you saying? What are you telling me?
You have to have a lot of humility as a parent, like a lot. You have to show up sturdy to your children, but they see very clearly. They're black and white. And it's such an opportunity. I feel so lucky to have that.
Whoa. Not everyone sees it like that because it's so hard.
I think they should. Their life is going to change. The relationship with themselves, with their children, everything changes. It's a blessing. It's such a blessing. My son teaches me so much. I'm like, whoa, I don't know anything.
Wow. the people who have been through things, I see this time and time and time again, are the coolest flipping people. Like, they are the teachers in the world. Like, they are the ones who are going to reshape what they've been through. They are the ones who are going to go back in that classroom and change that 3-year-old's life. They are the ones who are screaming from the rooftops in their own way, whether on a public platform or in their day-to-day existence, in their own homes, which will propel. Like, these people are so cool. Wow.
When I graduated, I still need to see clarity with this, because when I graduated out of high school, I was in touch with a lot of the younger high schoolers. They would gravitate towards me. And that in itself also empowered me. I was like, oh, I'm not broken. Oh, I'm not good at academics, but there's something bigger going on here. I'm needed in this world for something. So younger high school girls would come towards me and they would say, hey, I need to talk to you. Something's going on. Just very naturally. And I would hear them out. And it became a thing where I was friends with younger girls because I was safe to them. I was like their older sister. And when I graduated, I got the courage to call up my principal and schedule a meeting. I said, I want to meet with you. I have something important to tell you. And I was such an idealist. I still am, but in that moment, my 17-year-old self, I walked into her office and I said, listen, you have students you don't know, and I'm not going to give you names, but they are struggling like in a scary way. Like, really scary way. I know things you don't know. Please, don't pay me, but give me this chance to be just like a floater in the school and just to be their safe space, and then we could work together.
Wow.
And I had so much
That's
hope.
so sweet.
I had so much hope that she would be like, yeah, we'll take you on. And she looked at me like, you're so cute, but no thank you. And I don't know what the answer is for school. For girls, I think everyone could gain from someone, like a safe person in school. I just wish there was some sort of system that the girls had someone, like, for real, someone who's really, like, did the work.
There needs to be the right person.
Yeah.
Not just a school therapist, but like a real human being as a school therapist.
So that's my hope. I don't know. I pray for high school girls to just, I don't know, find a person, find someone to speak to for them to not feel alone. There's so many lonely people, and school could really save that before they go into the big world. It could give them that that notion of like, no, you're actually not alone. And if you feel alone, you have people to reach out to.
So during that year, 2 years, home in Montreal, like, what was your process? What were your steps? You said you had a life coach. You were back in your 3-year-old classroom. You did a ton of work there in many ways. Mm-hmm. By the end of those 2 years, what did you have? No. At the end of your second year?
Yeah. What did I come out with after those 2 years?
A husband.
Closure. A husband. A lot of closure. And a lot of like, I'm good. I'm okay. Hashem loves me. Hashem's literally obsessed with you, you cutie little Devorah. Mm-hmm. I didn't have those voices inside. I was so harsh on myself. And then I became a mother, and then I got back into that cycle of being harsh with myself. And thank God I'm in a different place now. But like, as much as we figure things out, you know, at some point in our life,
It uproots again.
it could, yes.
Sure.
And just to be open to do the work and to dive deeper. And it also makes life so much easier. It's less heavy. Like, why is being vulnerable such a thing? It sucks that it's such a big deal to be vulnerable. Could we all be humans? Look at each other in the eye. Look at yourself in the mirror. Be vulnerable. Cry. It's okay. You're okay. You're loved. Yes, you've been told all your life all kinds of things. But you have yourself and you have God. You have Hashem.
Well,
When I feel alone, I realized also a lot of people have this misconception that when they get married, everything will be solved. Everything's going to be okay.
you're complete.
He's your
You're
savior.
whole. Yeah.
And then you realize he's not here to save you. And you were born without him. Yes, of course, marriage is a beautiful thing, and you're a unit, 100%. But there is the aspect of you also are your own person, and you need to know that you're standing on 2 feet, that you have yourself, and if you feel like you can't do it on your own, you're not. Hashem is here. Hashem is inside of you. You don't feel him inside of you? Open your palms. Stop clenching.
Yeah.
Open your palms. Breathe him in. You just breathed God inside of you. That's it. You're a godly person. You're good.
Well. Presence. Like presence in oneself.
My therapist asked me, where do you think you get that inner strength from? Because I was telling her how, my outlets really made me who I am, like, in many ways. Like, I am very sturdy in many, many ways and very confident in many ways. And I give a lot of things to my outlets, my talents. It, like, really boosted me. And she was like, where do you get this from? Honestly, I don't know, but I didn't have an answer for her. I don't think I still do. I think it's just really trusting that Hashem literally is there. There were so many times I felt alone and scared and frightened, literally frightened for my life as a kid.
Wow.
But I always felt Hashem. I really always felt Hashem with me. In a very tangible way.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Like, let's take a life circumstance and let's bring Hashem in. For me, what's coming up, I can give an example from my life, but like, tell me if you want to use a different one. But postpartum is a time when women feel so lonely, and even the husbands feel really lonely in what they're going through. I know my husband will say that, where
For
of
sure.
course the women are struggling terribly, but how do we combat that loneliness and embody and believe that we're not alone?
I would say 2 things. I'm newly postpartum, 3 months. It's my 3rd postpartum. It has been my best postpartum. And with a move and so much going on, you would think it would be the worst postpartum.
I remember seeing Devorah. She moved into my complex. I was walking, and I'm like I notice postpartum when I see postpartum. She like was walking, trying to like catch a car on the phone, her baby, and she was like dripping. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just crazy that you're saying it's your best postpartum. She had just moved. I was thinking in my brain, like, who would move 2 weeks postpartum? Like, I kept thinking about you, like, is she okay? Is she okay? Like, it's crazy to hear that this is your best with all those things.
Yeah. I would say because of my life circumstances, it's not that nothing phases me. Of course, I'm a person. I break. But I know that Hashem is not throwing me into it and saying, goodbye now, figure it out, you're on your own. There's none of that. I am certain that during that move, 2 weeks postpartum, and all the changes, Hashem is literally, he's right here. He's right here. Just talk to him. Hashem, I can't handle it. Hashem, don't do this to me. Literally.
Wow. Like speak to him.
He's right here.
Like as if he's...
Yes,
well,
we're taught that he's
yeah.
a king and we have to fear him. I don't relate to that. It doesn't work for me. For me, praying to him and knowing that he's literally the most powerful energy in the entire world is good. That's
well, that's
great.
fear. That's awe, yira.
But
like
it's not. But I'm not afraid of him to the point where I don't even want to connect to him on a daily basis. You know, postpartum, you need God with you.
Yeah.
You literally need God.
So you're saying speak to him, like literally, verbally.
He's
Hashem, I can't.
your buddy. Yes, he's someone that I know. He's the most powerful energy, but he's also right here with you.
Mm-hmm. Devorah, like I said in the beginning, you are an embodiment of power and healing, and you embody the fact that you wear your healing. You are a healer. And that's why those people in high school gravitated towards you. That's why, you know, I don't have this many times, but like you had just moved in and I'm like, I want to go to her house. Like people gravitate toward you because you're something special. And, you know, some people go through hard things. Other people take their hard things and become a propeller for healing in the world because of it. And I want to give you an opportunity to, like, what do you want to share, to scream from the rooftops? Your top 2 things that you would choose to tell a person who is in the depths of their struggle. You know, it doesn't have to be specifically what you went through, but, you know, it could be grief, could be pain, struggle, something that you would want to tell them.
I'm going to switch your question. So I'm going to switch it around a little bit. I'll touch upon that. I think as someone who had loss in her life and a lot of grief and all of that stuff, people don't know how to react or how to approach other people who are going through a hard time. And my biggest thing is, don't say, I'm sorry you're going through this. I know it's a very American thing and people don't even think twice. Don't apologize. You did nothing. Go up to them, give them a hug, and say, I'm here. It sucks what you're going through. This really sucks. I can't believe God did this. Just sit with them in their pain.
Mm.
And
as
if you
opposed
can't
to
hug
like
them,
this is
like,
you.
I'm so sorry. You know, my I called her sister. My friend, she's like a sister to me. She lost her brother last year, 2 years ago. And it was, they were my neighbors. I knew him. Like, it was the most shocking and devastating news. And I reached out to her right away. And I was like, hello, what in the world just happened? Sitting with her in her grief. All her thoughts, just I'm speaking for her. And I'm saying them out loud.
Mm-hmm.
This is not normal. This is crazy. Are you okay? And she's like, Devorah, no one reached out. I think they're like a little bit nervous. Just tell them I need it.
Oh my gosh.
And I told all my friends, I said, she's like a sister to us. We grew up with her. Don't be afraid of, you're
Hard
not sure
things.
what word
Yeah.
to say, what's going to trigger her. Just
reach out.
empathy. Just sit with her in the pain.
1000%.
So I would say that's a huge one that people naturally, they're so afraid of saying the wrong thing. You can't say the wrong thing if you're sitting with them in the pain. You're there with them. And I feel like it's so typical. Yes, you're not alone 100%. I don't really want to sit on that. I feel like it's just a repetitive thing. I will say, reach out. If you're going through a hard time, don't stay in your room and just not reach out and scroll on Instagram and cry and feel alone. I promise you, Hashem will find the person. Hashem will give you the idea of who to reach out to. Hashem will send that phone call, that text, the knocking at the door. Hashem will send someone for you. Maybe you're going to have to reach out to them, or maybe they'll reach out to you. You are 100% not alone, but you really need to believe that. And you need to, most of the time, you have to reach out to people. People get caught up in their life.
Mm-hmm. And they're not trying to not be there for you.
100%.
It's not like they don't want to.
100%. And I always strive to be that. Like, if I can, I'm here for you. I'm totally here for you.
Mm-hmm. Also, be that person. Be that person who notices.
We all have 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Totally, we all have it. I don't have time. I don't believe in that. I really don't. Me with my time management, I'm telling you, Hannah, it's like a whole other level. I use my time to the point where I make time to celebrate with friends, to get pretty things for my house, to be fully present with my kids. You could find time.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we limit ourselves. Can I ask for one last message to educators, to the adults in children's lives, parents, educators?
Before stepping into a school, into the classroom, leave everything out the door. Your problems at home, your stresses, what happened that morning, leave it out the door. Do not walk in to the classroom with all of that, because we really need you. We need you as a sturdy, present, warm, and loving person. Not just a teacher who's stressed and here to, give over the lesson. You're so much more than that.
Wow. Coming from someone who experienced all ends. The student, the teacher, the parent. Beautiful. I cannot thank you enough for coming on here and opening up in such a vulnerable and special way.
Thank you. I didn't think I would ever be given this opportunity. I never wanted an opportunity like this, ever. But I also trust Hashem is holding my hand and not resisting.
Yeah. Whew.
Thank you, Hannah.